Anyway, as Arsenal go all the way back to David Raya after he took the goal kick long, they are just so machine-like, the Gunners, in how they dismantle teams without really having a finger laid upon them. City have forced Raya in some good saves, Haaland particularly, the number 9, but in terms of a barrage of chances, it's been lacking from the side looking to try and bounce back under new management.
Knows things haven't been good enough and he's desperate to just get this season kick-started, and in the form of James Penrice, that freshness he hopes is something that will assist in that regard.
Yeah, you know, there's definitely a frustration there within him, as you'd understand. It's not been the start he was looking for, but as the teams are ready to come out here, I think just now he'll be looking for a win today to get him kick-started.
It's Pandur, Sterling, Fernandez, Makanya and Penrice, Chukwueze, Raskin, Dragicevic, Yokota, Nadiri and Gassama. No Asgard, the reason is suspension following his red card last season in this very tournament. What have you seen of Yokota, perhaps, Andy, that he gets you on the edge of your seats when he gets the ball? Yeah, listen, he was, I thought he and Gassama actually went Thursday night were the two kind of sparks in a very disappointing performance. Gassama as well, you know, the start he made last season was so impressive, Tom. You just hope that that might be in his mind, that he can try and do that again. But with Yokota, yeah, he's brought real energy, 1v1 attacking, you know, sort of relentlessly going at his fullback. I think it was against his fellow countrymen as well on Thursday night, wasn't it, which he probably fancied, let's be honest. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him today in the flesh. It's the end product though, as we all know. We've been talking about it, there hasn't been enough goals, and it's keeping that little bit of composure. Once you've beaten your man, can you find a blue jersey? And there's, yeah, but definitely of all the signings, he was one of the most impressive so far. With the absence of both Dan Neal and Lawrence Shanklin, skipper's armband goes the way of Nico Raskin, today making his 149th Rangers appearance. It's still a questionable future for the man who stood out so well in World Cup duty for Belgium, but one thing you know, while he's here, he'll give you everything he's got, Andy. He's an outstanding footballer, Tom. I thought he was excellent in the World Cup. Really enjoyed watching him on the biggest stage of all, performing to that such a high level and representing the football club in such a brilliant way. He's a super, still fairly young player who hopefully we can keep him for as long as we possibly can, but everyone has a price tag, and if that money comes in, I'm sure the club are going to have to consider it. But for now, he's the man to wear the captain's armband tonight, and I think he'll really enjoy that, Tom. He's a guy, he likes the limelight, he likes the pressure. I think he performs at his best when he's like that, and it's up to him today to try and drag. This isn't going to be easy, it's going to be really difficult. This is a team who are on form, they're high on confidence. Of course, they're retaining, they're the champions of this competition. They're trying to retain their cup, so they're not going to give in lightly today, and it's going to need someone like Nico Raskin and that little bit of grit and determination, especially in the midfield area, to get on top today. Penrice, the man of the moment, meanwhile wearing 88 for Saints, is Killian Phillips with 3 goals in his last 2 outings, and will be a bit of a threat there as referee John Beaton just checks with his assistants, and we're underway at Ibrox in this Premier Sports League Cup tie, all to play for. The draw, incidentally, for the quarter-finals will take place after full-time here today. Rangers' traditional kit of the blue shirts, white shorts, red and black socks, and it's a change of kit for St Mirren, wearing a kind of cream-type top. I don't see any necessity when their home colours are the regular colours for white shirts, but they've changed today into a kind of vanilla come cream top. Sell a few more shirts. That's maybe the name of the game, Andy. You've called it probably right. Penrice is on his bike, giving chase to this one, in behind Richardson. Almost got there ahead of goalkeeper Chapman, who was quick to snuff out the danger. Electrifying pace from Penrice. Yeah, it's sometimes not what you're after in the first minute, to have to go and do a 40-yarder at top speed, but he nearly got there. Nice little ball through the middle. And you also hope that his warm-up has been effective. All you see is a hammy going at that stage. That's what I'm referring to. Straight in. You know, he's had a
day at the club or something. So anyway, he got through it, and hopefully we see the best of him today.
There's Big Stroller, aka Fernandez. Sterling in search of Yokota. There's Raskin in support. Popped in against a decent inviting ball. No one can capitalise as Chapman's goal is well protected by the backtracking Saints defenders. But the most clearing and effective of headers. Fraser as Rangers keep the pressure on. Gassama. Fired in Penrice, awkward, squeezed away Fraser. Moved quickly by Raskin, well read by Phillips, and he's on the charge.
Pretty obvious one that from Nico Raskin right in front of the referee. A couple of minutes, see the grab of the jersey, he'll see how many of those he can get away with.
He's getting up a bit of a head of steam, Phillips, as he turned defence into attack. Good interception, here's Yokota. He's found Nadiri. Chukwani is driving into the box. Nadiri making heavy weather of things, but he's got a wee bit of luck here. Looking for a wee bit more joy as he looks for the corner and gets it.
Yeah, listen, there was, I don't know how many thousand it is today, but every single one of us could see the ball was on to Chukwani inside. Brilliant run from the big midfielder, but Nadiri just didn't get his head up. If he had a head up through the little through pass was on, it could have been a great chance, but first score of the match anyway, and it will be Penrice on it.
It's likely that we'll see more than one striker deployed today. On the bench, of course, Lauren Shank and Bojan Majowski. So there's going to be a bit of rotation at the top of the pitch throughout the 90 minutes or longer if required, Andy.
Yeah, listen, they're all trying to grab that jersey, or one or two, depending on formations, but it's Ryan Nadiri's opportunity today.
Here's the corner. Well dealt with over the warrior that is Alec Govic. Chases to try and keep the pressure on. It's returned with interest from Pandur. Out for a throw-in in favour of St Mirren, who had a particularly productive section of this tournament this season. 4-0 away at Dumbarton, 4-0 away at Cove. Raskin with the interception. Yokota a wee bit slow, but it breaks kindly for Nadiri. Yokota in support. Good invention, tries to release Dragijevic. Saints stand firm. Good intervention though from the big Durban-born defender, Mac Hanya. Hanya in a very high line. Saints keep possession though. Fernandez shuttles over. Hanya can't get anything on it. Great feet, just wide of the target. Well, it's their front man, Sule, who created the opportunity almost for himself. He's got one goal for the season. He's a handful. Started at Celtic, moved on to West Bromwich Albion, and now given the job of leading the line for St Mirren.
Yeah, listen, Rangers are pressing really, really high, committing lots of bodies forward. It's just that when you see St Mirren breaking the press and getting through, it was kind of 3v3 at the back, and obviously that's something Derek McInnes is going to want to make sure he keeps a lid on. Chukwani, Raskin, they've got a bit of a duty to do just to spot the opportunity, when to press, when not to, and give us a little bit of protection across the front of that back four.
It's Penrice.
You can see us clearly Dragijevic.
Yeah, he's on the move.
He's the man that's going to try and get forward, Tom, and get in touch with Nadiri.
I like the look of the lad, Dragijevic. Very versatile as well.
Yeah,
starting jersey today.
He's the one that's a bit of a wild card, really, isn't he? You know, the rest of them are all kind of, if you look at the signings, they're all 28, 27, 26. They're all experienced and kind of you know what they're bringing. But with him, there's a little bit more. We don't quite know what we've got just yet.
Good work, Chukwani. The race on here. Gassama away from Carr. Pops in search of Nadiri. Can he get his shot away? Support from Dragijevic! And you see the frustration from the Serbian. He was within a whisker of getting the opener.
He's just tried to get too cute with it, Tom. He's tried to really find that corner. It's brilliant from Nadiri. thought he would have had a wee dig at it himself, but actually he took the right option. It was real good composure from the Deary. Layoff to Dragicevic, perfect, but you can see how frustrated he is, and the manager as well. It's one of those. It's on a just absolutely perfect edge of the 18-yard box, and fails to find the target.
Good strength from Kanya. This time Gassama gets no change out of Marcus Fraser. That late change indeed in the Saints ranks. Fraser originally intended to be on the bench after the team lines had been presented. Donnelly pulled up in the warm-up and takes no part, meaning Fraser, who should have started on the bench, is at the heart of the Saints defence. We have a new face in their ranks as well. Ismail Cavia on loan from Arsenal, but it's Rangers coming forward again. The Deary, he's got that big stride. He covers the territory so quickly.
There's no doubt in his application, Tom, his commitment, his energy levels, his effort. Absolutely none. No issues from my point of view. It's choosing when to go and do that, Tom, and when to just occupy that between the posts and don't leave it. Just be strong and be rigid and wait for the ball to come to you, and patient as well. It's a big thing as a striker, not to get too hungry going looking for it. You've got to remain patient, and that comes with confidence.
Penrice again with the in-swinger in front of the Saints fans. A good one too. No one attacking it in there. The ball's in the air. And Raskin it sat up nicely to perhaps go and get a header on it there. And just harmlessly over the top.
Just one of those. The keeper comes, makes a bit of a meal of it. It's not very often many set pieces don't end up with Nico Raskin getting his head on the end of it. For how on earth he does it, I don't know, but gets that one. Just mistimes it slightly.
He's in possession again as he feeds it to Fernandez. Kanya. Rangers lots of possession. St Mirren quite happy to sit in and soak it up. And perhaps try and get the best out of Suri and Mockery, former Virgin Dundee United man, the second striker. The target, flicks it on. Gassama trying to pick up the loose ball. Can he find a finish? Here's Gassama! Blocked by Chapman. Keeps the pressure on. Yeah. Goal! Nadiri flicks it beyond the goalkeeper. 9th minute of the match. Nadiri on target. Rangers lay siege to Chapman's goal. Get the reward. Blunder from St Mirren defensively. And Derek McInnes gets the start. He was probably after Andy.
It just comes from a straight ball up the top. McGuanya does the right thing. He just clears his lines. Gassama, great pressure, cuts inside, turns Gogic inside out, doesn't quite get the finish, and then it's quite a fortunate one, I think, comes off the knee of Ryan Nadiri. But listen, he'll take it all day long. You see here Gassama inside, outside, gets his shot away. Keeper makes a save, and then I think Gassama stays alive to it, doesn't he? Wins it well, just off the kneecap of Ryan Nadiri, and he will gladly take that sort of up the body, but gladly take that.
What is it they say about good strikers stay between the sticks?
We were just talking about it, weren't we? Yeah, he's in the right area, right place, right time, does enough, and Rangers take a 1-0 lead.
Ryan Nadiri leading the line today.
Having a wee look at it, aren't they? Maybe if it went up to his,
VAR.
I think it's just to see if it was offside, maybe from
on VAR duty today. It's Kevin Clancy, assisted by Duncan Williamson. Williamson, sorry. The goal is good. The goal is good. Ryan Nadiri got 3 last season. His last goal came against Dundee United on the 4th of April. Gets his account open for the season. Rangers now make heavy weather of defending. Sule. Eventually they get enough bodies to protect the goalkeeper.
It's one of those. It's what frustrates us about this big man. He is such a brilliant footballer, brilliant defender, but this is just far too relaxed, Tom. Far too calm. Even on this challenge here, it's a little you know, it's a little
no conviction.
outside of the left foot, especially when you just made a mistake. Go and smash that next challenge, and that's the difference at the minute with that big man. He's got everything it takes to make it at the very, very highest level, but it's just that wee bit of concentration and commitment.
First Saints corner, Phillips fires it in. Dragojevic with the clearance. Chukwani right place, gets it to the flank where Yokota has Phillips for company. Oh, wonderful trick. Terrific footwork from Daisuke Yokota. Penrice. Chukwani's travelled with purpose. There's a tug of the shirt there from Marcus Fraser, spotted by the referee, and the first yellow card of the afternoon goes the way of Saints skipper Marcus Fraser.
That is so good from the big man. You can see it coming all day long, to be honest. I think Marcus Fraser's the only person that doesn't spot it, but he just uses his big frame so well. He's got a great turn of pace as well there.
Only second start of the season. Chukwani. He won the Austrian Bundesliga. He's just never quite imposed himself as regularly as he would all like since coming to Rangers. We'll bring you the other scores from the ties of this round just very shortly after Penrice fires in the free kick. Who's looking? Saints get it away. Sterling first to show. Great take, Gasama, let's fly. Just cuts across the ball and is wide of the target. Good effort, look.
Don't mind that from Gazama. I touched on it pre-game, Tom. He had such a superb start to last season, if you remember, and he just tailed off. You know, his performances tailed away, and you just hope that he is that kind of confidence player if he can continually get the starting jersey and continue to perform and affect the game as he has done so far.
Hearts are in the next round, 6-2 victors over Inverness Caledonian Thistle. Narrow win for Hibernian, 1-0. And Motherwell travelling to Larbert against Stenhousemuir, 0-0. Extra time is the name of the game there, I suspect. And Rangers, of course, 1-0 against St Mirren. Already in the hat from yesterday's matches, Ross County, Aberdeen and Celtic. Some defending required from a Rangers perspective now. Mockery tries to get his team going. Phillips in support. Oh, great backtrack. Awareness from Sterling. Gogic is cool too, and despite the presence of Dragojevic and Nadiri. Carr shows for the return ball down the line. Sterling touched tight. It's Fraser. Scored the first goal in last year's final against his first club, Celtic.
2 minutes on the clock or something.
Was, yeah.
It was early.
There's a management change. The Paisley side since then. Stephen Robinson won the cup, was then snapped up to take over at Aberdeen. But the man in possession just now, Craig McLeish, he played his part to keep them up. Here's Richardson with the cut back. Penrice gets something on it. Gasama hooks it on. Gogic takes a touch. It's sloppy and pounced upon by Dejere Gasama. Away from Phillips. Fraser already yellow carded. Can't lay a glove on him. Gasama the curler! Again, he's looking in the mood.
Yeah, he certainly was. Just ran down a bit of a hole there where he didn't have many options. He was leading it. He, as I say, didn't have too much on, but really, really lively to get away from Killian Phillips in the initial wee burst of pace. He looks up for it.
Raskin gets across, picking off the loose ball. Kanya, a big unit with the socks rolled down there with the small shin guards. 4-year contract for him. Raskin said where he would like it, but it goes to Dragojevic, and Raskin switching off gives possession back to Mockery. Phillips for Carr. Phillips had been deployed in a more advanced role in recent weeks. Today, with the no place for Paul and Sale, who's obviously out on loan from Rangers, he can't play against his parent club. Phillips has had to take a deeper midfield role. What a wonderful layoff it was from Gassama just perfectly into the path of the advancing Penrice, but Fraser gets across to just keep the back door closed for the moment. There is Craig McLeish, his 24th game in charge, just 36 years of age. Previously head of academy. It is Liam Donnelly, and what's going through his mind at the moment was expected, in fact was selected to start pulling up the warm-up. Dragojevic. 3 appearances, 2 yellow cards. He doesn't mind it getting a wee bit physical. The big switch is on radar for Penrice. Oh, a terrific drop of the shoulder again. And Carr, well, can do nothing but take Gassama to the deck as he was beating all ends up.
Yeah, a couple of wee combinations between Penrice and Gassama early on, just showing a bit of understanding between each other. Nice from Gassama there, using his body again. Set piece in a great wee area now, Penrice left foot.
No Tour Romans, of course, he's injured. His only Rangers goal came against It's an inviting ball. Gogic, you got it away, your Kota gets something on it. Dragojevic!
Wow!
Oh! Stunning goal! They don't get much better than that. Dragojevic with an absolute screamer. The keeper knew nothing about it. 18 minutes played. It's Rangers 2, St Mirren 0.
What a strike, Tom. Out of the top drawer, right into the top corner. Dragojevic, I struggled to say his surname earlier on in the match, and I do him a disservice. Absolutely superb technique, great touch, little dip and volley. Keeper got no chance. You'll see it here. What a view we'll have of it, this one. You can see it. Yakota does enough off the chest, sets up lovely, and tell you what, 20-year-old announces himself to Ibrox.
25, 26 yards. It's a terrific goal. Absolutely stunner from Vanja Dragojevic. I think the face there of a Rangers fan who just witnessed a thing of beauty, enjoying the moment.
I called him a wild card about 5 or 10 minutes ago, and that's what I meant. He really impressed me as well. He came on the other night, he looked really lively, demanding the ball and trying to make a difference for 20 years old. I think he was captain at 19 or something as well previously. He's obviously got some pedigree, and we're seeing the best of it there.
He's covering the ground kind of quickly. Out to Yakota. He plays without fear. Well, he curls one in near post. No one anticipating. I think we're all looking for the ball back to Sterling. And it's comfortably gathered by Jacob Chapman between the sticks for Saints. A yellow card here, I suspect, for Fernandez. He commits himself, looked a wee bit leaden-footed as Sewell took him on.
Yeah, I don't think he can get out of the way, but I think he has his right arm just kind of across the chest here. You see that there. I think it's the arm that gets the booking for. Otherwise, he can't do very much. It goes through his legs. He stands still, but he has the booking for Big Fernandez.
Fernandez made his league debut against St Mirren. So 2 centre-backs cautioned, 1 for Rangers, 1 for St Mirren. The game 20 minutes old, Rangers 2 to the good. Phillips trying to conjure up something here from the set play. Originally joined Saints on loan from Crystal Palace. It's a free header, alarmingly. He just plays it into an area that Rangers don't go and attack, and Marcus Fraser will be disappointed not to hit the target.
Yeah, do you know what? Marcus Fraser and Gogic, they take a little run. You see them, they start outside the 18-yard box. They're not marked by anybody, especially Gogic. You can't leave that man unmarked inside your own box. But Rangers need to either someone needs to get on them at the edge of the box and track them all the way in, or they've got to have a few blockers there. But worrying times.
Two to the good, just make the ball a bit of a prisoner and have Saints expend some energy chasing it without getting on it.
You just don't want to give them any chances to get themselves back in. If confidence is flowing, the team are starting to settle in quite well. Just keep it, yeah, as you say, make it a prisoner.
It's Penrice in a very high line. Curls it forward for the movement of Gassama, and again Fraser had to look lively to get across and intercept Gassama as he was trying to pour into the box.
It's that little run from inside to out from Gassama. Very, very hard for centre half to get across. Full-backs are taken out the game by the pass from Penrice. He's looked really
corner again, this time from the left.
He's looked really settled, Tom. You wonder if he was studying set pieces last night, trying to get used to what he has to do here. But
decent ball too. Oh, was it handled on the line? Nadini denied there after the goalkeeper had sort of dropped it, but it's cleared off the line as Saints drive up the park to try and take the pressure off. We'll get a look at that again and replay shortly. It looked for all the world as Rangers were going to get a third. Somehow the Saints defence enjoyed a charmed life. I think the instruction at the moment from Derek McInnes is just feed Gassama.
yeah, I think he lots of compliments, rightly so, for James Penrice there. His recovery run was superb. The main stand here really enjoyed his work rate getting back in. Made a great challenge.
Dragijevic with the take. In for Chukwani, lets it run. Gassama gets across, fancies it, changes his mind. Penrice is free on the left. Gassama! Oh. Off the underside of the bar. Nadiri can't convert. What a stunning effort again. Yokota, the crossbar. Is there a VAR check? There may be. John Beaton has stopped proceedings for the moment. There is an injury. It's Ryan Nadiri who's got clocked.
Yeah, he took a fist from Chapman, I think, as he cleared his lines off the crossbar. Back up again, we'll get to see it again. There's 2 or 3 chances we'd like to see, isn't there? But Zama here, all the shouts were to pass it to Penrice. Takes a deflection, Tom, off the crossbar, and it's
hasn't crossed the line, I would say.
I don't think so. When you see this one,
goes looking for it and takes a heavy one from the goalkeeper Chapman.
Yeah, there's nothing in any of that really. It's just an unfortunate clash. Chapman goes for the ball. See it down off the crossbar.
It's a wee deflection, I think.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Deary brave and trying to get on the end of it, but we'll see it better here.
There's some concerns. Only a week ago we lost a very expensive asset in the form of our main striker Chermiti at that end of the pitch, the other side of the goal frame, mind you. But Gassama certainly lighting up Ibrox this afternoon. Let's hope Ryan Nadiri can shrug this one off. 24 played. Options on the bench are Lawrence Shanklin and Bojan Majowski. Should they have to make a change, we see it again here. This is the earlier passage of play, but it's hooked away off the line by Jayden Richardson. Actually breaks off Fernandez as Rangers really laying siege to that goal that couldn't get the third.
Pinball in there, wasn't it? Off back and forth, but just didn't fall for Rangers. But listen, I think in summary, the opening 25 or so minutes, Derek McInnes will be much happier with what he's seeing. I think the fans are getting a really entertaining Rangers team playing on the front foot, aggressive, both in possession, out of possession. Yes, they've given up a couple of chances at the other end, but that comes with high pressing and getting picked off every so often. But we've had 4 or 5 really, really good chances. We'll see Nadiri whether he's okay to continue. Looks like he's alright. Always a bit of precaution with a head injury, I suppose.
Stennis Muir are one up against Malone. There's a legend in our ranks today, former manager Alex McLeish. A double and a treble in his first 2 seasons. Really enjoying what he's seeing so far. One good thing about this tournament, Andy, is it's finalised. You've got a winner before the tournament be here. Albeit, you know, there's no European place for it now, but it does send out a marker for the rest of the season.
It's an important one, 100%, especially for a team like Rangers at the minute, who just about keep possession of it there. You know, the trophy cabinet's not been as busy as we'd have hoped it would have been in recent years. So it's absolutely, you're only this is last 16, so you're only 3 games away from a final. It's a great opportunity to get early silverware, and the manager will be, and the team will be treating it with the respect it deserves.
Raskin wins the header. Yokota tries to feed it back to where it started, but the free kick goes in favour. So Fraser at the heart of the defence is carrying a bit of a knock. That's why he didn't start, or wasn't meant to start today. It's team 2 down. Just looking at Rangers there, and the out of possession, it was a pretty clear 4-1-4-1.
Yeah, Nico Raskin sits in there and just, you know, he's the quarterback of this team. He keeps them ticking. At times I would like to see a bit of an interchange. Chakwani sitting in there, maybe Nico getting up in touch. He's got such brilliant quality on the ball, picks a pass. You know, is it really where you want your probably most valued asset, picking passes in your own half or picking passes in the other half? So I'd like to just see a little bit of maybe interchange, maybe. Chakwani though already has shown the kind of top end speed he has to get beyond the midfield and beyond set defenders and stretch the game, which Rangers have done really well in this opening game, opening 30 minutes or so.
And the steps out, which keeps it going early into the path of Yokota. Nadiri picks it up now, lifts his head for the pass, the cut back for Chukwani. Can't get a sight of the target, tracked by Fraser, gets it out to Gassama. Penrice is waiting, and a wee deflection takes the sting out of the effort. Well, the way he's performed in the first 27 minutes, Andy, you can certainly forgive him for having a go himself on this occasion.
Yeah, not so sure Chakwani, Nadiri and
Yokota, of course.
Yokota would forgive him for that one. It was a wee bit greedy, it was a wee bit hopeful. He had lots of options, lots of blue jerseys committed forward. Sometimes the first option's the best option, just give it, move and go again. He's trying to beat his man, and from probably 25 yards maybe, find that far corner. There was better options.
At 2-0 though, he can be forgiven. At 0-0 might not just as being as charitable.
Welcome to Ibrox, that is.
The pressure goes with the territory. Well, that is from Raskin. No one in the same postcode as Dragijevic. Feeds it wide. Yokota now fires it in. It's well blocked with retreating Gogic.
That's a few times Yokota's work to do.
One over the top here. Canya's switched on and pacey enough and holds off the challenger Chris Mockley.
I think you could probably leave those two centre halves just to clear things up. The physicality and the athleticism of the two of them, unbelievable pace there. There's no concerns about balls. You know, the back to front one they shouldn't be too worried about, but you see the way St Mirren are pressing so high as well. The game is unbelievably open, which this sort of front 4 or so of Rangers should enjoy a lot of it.
You take the Nadiri. Penrice looks to get a wee break of the ball. Gogic squeezes it forward. Mockery with a layoff for Carr.
Just about to comment though, Yokota, as lively as he's been, as impressive as he was on Thursday night, that wee end product yet again. He had a chance there just to pick a blue jersey. He made a bit of a meal of his cross, and that's something they'll be looking to improve on. Be a bit more ruthless and effective in the final third.
Here's one for you, Andy. We talked about the necessity for a Scottish identity. As Mockery pulls one back for Saints. It was a stunning strike too from Mockery, but again Rangers causing the problems for themselves. Pandur got across, couldn't keep it out. A lifeline for Saints, and that 2-goal advantage is now down to 1 only. Half an hour played at Ibrox. We see it again here. It's sloppy from a Rangers perspective, but it's a good finish from a Saints side.
I mentioned the wild card element, and unfortunately that's it right there. It's a really sloppy one. You know, it's a ball with your back to your man. He didn't know who was coming from behind. He's tried to find a sort of 4-yard pass to Nico Raskin, who's running onto it. Really difficult. Nothing really to be gained from it. You know, maybe just take a bit more of the percentage pass, and St Mirren certainly take advantage of the mistake.
What I was about to say, Andy, we talked about looking for a Scottish identity. about the side. There's only one Scotsman in the starting line. It's a new boy, James Penrice.
Yeah, up until yesterday there may not have been any. I suppose Robbie McCrory maybe might have had to operate at left back again, but sorry, Ross McCrory. It's there's certainly been changes though within the squad who've brought that. The captain being the obvious one, but I'm sure that'll still be a thought process within the recruitment. But when the times come and the right players come, I don't think nationality really matters too much.
Nadiri, he's got inside of Gogic. Goal kick is the ultimate call.
I'm a big believer though in that, in the Scottish British identity, shall we say, that they know the game, they know the blood and thunder of football in this country, and that's very, very important, and also the history and everything. And
it's not just on match days, every day training.
Yeah.
It's an education for some of the new guys. Incidentally, Motherwell are out the cup. There's Raskin. Can't find Dragajevic.
It is so different from anywhere else. Certainly, I can only speak from my own experience. It's just so different from everywhere else that you need to have that nucleus of players within the squad who know exactly what it's all about and who demand the standards day in, day out.
What's said about
outside of training, everything.
About how Motherwell go about their job, but they're out the cup. Marvin Barclay's St Mirren, a 1-0 victory. A big payday pending for the Central Scotland club. They'll be watching the draw with interest, which will take place after conclusion to this tie at Ibrox. Penrice again laid it off and immediately has only one intent to get forward. Kanya doesn't gamble. Saints have had a lift from pulling a goal back, you can see. Richardson very quickly on top of Penrice.
Offside, Penrice just coming back. The keeper made just sliced it slightly, and it wasn't planned for James Penrice. He was coming back off an offside position, but he settled really, really quickly. Tom, he's looked very, very comfortable. Clearly a gifted footballer, great pace. Attacking side of his game is the best part of his game, and I think Rangers fullbacks need that.
We talked about that Scottish awareness. 108 appearances for Livingston, Penrice 114 for Partick Thistle, and of course that season at Hearts I think he started 41 matches. Season loan from AEK Athens with an agreement of potential full-time purchase. The Saints going forward again. Declan John, haven't seen much of him today, but he does get down the line with purpose on this occasion. He wins the throw-in. Former Ranger, of course, Declan John. Left for Swansea. All of a sudden, Saints have much more possession than they had earlier.
You called it. It's the lifeline that we offered up to them. Just a little mistake in midfield, miscommunication, poor distribution. The Saints completely capitalised on it, and now Rangers have a wee job to do just to ride the storm and get into, maybe try and get another in before half time. But generally, Tom, it's been good. It's been good to watch. I've enjoyed some of the new signings and their impact they're having.
Nadiri had been impeded, but Rangers still have possession as Dragajevic gets it out to Gassama. Chukwuani's gone central. Here is Nadiri back on his feet now, telling Yokota where he would like it, but Yokota has other ideas. Oh my goodness, that was travelling. It would have hit the target, but stretching to get a glove on it was Jacob Chapman.
He's just so tricky at those 1v1s, so difficult to work out what way he's going to go as well. It's left, it's right, it's inside of the foot, outside of the foot, and they're showing he's got an eye for goal as well. Great strike, just destined for the far corner. Keeper Chapman makes a good strong right hand to it.
Penrice again signalling his intent. No one attacking it in there. Falls for Dragajevic, and again he tries his luck from similar range, and this time it's wrong side of the goal frame.
A bit trickier that one. Technique difficult. Coming come flying out at him, bounces in front of him, but he does well to get his knee over it and hit it down into the ground, but wide of the keeper's goals.
Richardson in a very advanced area. I was about to say Saints, a wee bit of fine tuning. They're certainly playing about 20 yards further up the park than they were earlier. Phillips hits the deck, free kick, Saints.
They're a team in great form. I think they've won 6 of their 7 matches, competitive matches they've had this season alone. They've had obviously the League Cup group games to play, so they're a bit ahead of the game in terms of where Rangers are for competitive matches, I would say. And they've also had, I think it's 9 new signings, so they've kept the kind of core, the likes of Gogic in there, keeping those standards high. I'm sure they've brought in fresh blood, and they're certainly won their first 2 games, 2 clean sheets. They're not going to lie down here today.
Tenacity from Raskin. The referee goes in favour of Carr. And he was one of those new signings, joined in the summer from Ipswich, Ryan Carr. Around 8 minutes plus stoppages to the turnaround. Sterling was slow to react as the switch of play gets Cabia on loan from Arsenal. Can't release Phillips, and Nadiri can't make it stick.
Tricky, he's up there 2v1. And the one thing I'd say though, when you're trying to find him, is just stay still. Sometimes he's on the move too soon.
So there's a handful. Sterling sticks to the task. Second Saints corner. Travelling band from Paisley, just a short distance down the M8. They did have one reversal in this tournament. They lost 1-0 at Dunfermline. That 4-3 narrow win over East Kilbride. They've certainly had a few games with the league section of the League Cup to get the new players blended in. That won't trouble anyone. Killian Phillips. That goal from St Mirren is the first goal they've scored against Rangers in the last 5 League Cup matches against the Irish club. You have to go back to 1983, the last time they scored in League Cup business against Rangers.
You've been on ChatGPT, surely.
Cabin fever after a hip replacement, Andy. Cabin fever. Here's Chukwani. And he gets it in the back there. The referee hasn't seen it. It was dangerous. That's the one down the Achilles that causes all sorts of problem. And I think, to be fair, John Beaton is totally oblivious to that challenge.
Yeah, we'll get to see it again. Slow-mo replay will certainly show it in full.
Maybe just got a toe in the ball.
He certainly gets the ball first.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. I don't think it's overly reckless. But it is in from behind, so one of those.
Bounced awkwardly in front of Bandura. And settles for kicking for touch. Nervy stage of proceedings as Saints try to muscle their way back to level terms with 5 minutes of this pulsating first half cup tie remaining. The driven effort wasn't far away there. Samuel Ramos, he's got 3 goals already this season in this tournament, and he just cuts across the ball and it skews away from goal.
Derek McInnes is being held back within the dugout at the moment. He is probably desperate to see the half-time whistle now. I think it just feels like it's a bit of an unravelling going on at the back. Rangers defensively very, very poor. St Mirren spying opportunity.
Carr making life awkward. Wefu, Makanya.
I think Rangers just need to go back to front for a wee while, play in the right areas, get themselves back on the front foot, trying to play out, and St Mirren are committing 3 or 4 bodies at least on top of them.
They've already got 15 League Cup wins against Saints on a record. defend. Clear purpose. Penrice quickly across. Last time we met in League Cup business, December 20, 3-0. A double from the Buff, Morelos, own goal. It's 3-3 corners. Who's organising? Big Declan John to deliver. 3 goals in his time at Rangers, the Welshman. Fernandes with a header. Gassama helps it away. You both have a real presence. Drags it back, he's released Gassama. Trying to stand up Carr, still Gassama. Into the path of Nadiri, blocked by Fraser. And a nice time to restore a 2-goal advantage. Dragijevic can't find Raskin. Nolan getting a hold of the ball and making it theirs.
The game was just so open, you know, it's end to end. Nothing in midfield. Just should have done better there, I feel. Gassama this time choosing to pass when it was, I thought, better just to go it low.
Here is Cabia. Made his Arsenal debut in a League Cup tie against Bolton. They won last season at Shrewsbury. All of a sudden, Andy, it's kind of Rangers looking for the half-time whistle.
Yeah, it's what they felt when they go and run the end of the pitch.
Yeah.
Should have restored that 2-goal lead. So it's been a bit like that all game long.
Phillips takes it in. Gogic for Declan John. Now to Sule, who fires one in. Penrice tucking into good effect with the clearing header. Gassama sends it away. Gogic sends it back in. Akanya launches it to the halfway line. Nadiri and Fraser up close and personal.
Yeah, I think Derek McInnes really wants to get in to try and get in the ear of the players. He wants to establish some control again in the game and control possession of the ball. It's just a bit scrappy. Rangers are just allowed St Mirren. Ever since the goal, they've just dropped off it slightly.
So again on the charge. He delivers. What's an awkward one. Fernandes couldn't get anything on it. Fired across the face and no takers from a St Mirren perspective, while Rangers happy to see it go wide. We're looking at an additional 3 minutes, I believe. 43 have come and gone, heading to 44. Nadiri on the deck again, not for the first time today.
Nico Raskin really needs to get onto them as well. If it's not on the play, just look into Nadiri and play off him. But
Mandur goes long. It's a free header, Gogic, but he's only knocked into the path of Gassama. He's found Chukwani. Penrice coming forward on the left. Sterling on the right. Dragijevic on the decoy. Not sure he wanted it. He's going to have to deal with it though. Does get it in the box, squeezed away by Gogic. Headed back in Gassama. Richardson kind of gets it away after a fashion. His right place, right time as Raskin popped it back in again. Here's Ramos. Cabia. A race on here, but Macanya is fleet of foot himself.
I don't think he's too concerned about someone trying to run him like that. Does really, really well. He almost entices it. He goes, go on then, try and get by me, and does really well to just take the challenge then. You see him here showing him outside, gets that big arm across, gets his body in the right position, and then just and always if you grab the football, it generally helps too, doesn't it?
Influence the referee.
Yeah.
3 additional minutes have been confirmed. Raskin looking for the free kick. It was tracked by Ramos, who will celebrate his 26th birthday on Tuesday. Craig McLeish looks on. Nadiri gets it back to Gassama. Chugwani there. Cute layoff from Gassama. He just delays getting the pass away, and Richardson picks it off for St Mirren. Ryan Carr with the big switch. Fernandez underneath it. First to show is Ramos. Combination of Yokota and Raskin get the job done from a Rangers perspective. Yokota just running into trouble. Declan John now halfway through the minimum added 3.
Talk from Derek McInnes is going to look like. Been some good, a lot of bad. But Rangers still find themselves
just find a way to win
with the advantage.
You're both tracked all the way by Ryan Carr.
Just trying to play in the right areas, I think, is the key thing for me. Tom, you know, establish control of the game, better in possession, a little bit tidier, try and get up a bit closer to Ryan Nadiri. He's been left exposed quite a lot. Going from back to front very quickly.
Rangers and St Mirren were due to meet on league business, but that one's been pushed back as Rangers look to find a way through in the European arena. No handball as Nadiri tries to go beyond Gogic. Sterling was right place, right time, and shows to take the return from Yokota. Feeds it wide to Dragojevic. Launches it in. Real pace on the delivery. Menace on the delivery, but Saints deal with it. Dragojevic might just have been fractionally late on Ramos. The referee believes that to be the case. 2 yellow cards. Manny Fernandez from a Rangers perspective and Marcus Fraser for the visitors. Half-time whistle blows at Ibrox. 9 on the clock. 1-0 Rangers. Great work Gassama and Nadiri with the finish. 9 minutes later, Rangers doubled their advantage with a fantastic strike from Dragojevic. It all went a wee bit wrong on the half-hour mark when a Mockery drive gifted a goal back to St Mirren after Rangers was made heavy weather of getting the ball away. But 2-1 in favour of Rangers as they head to the confines of the dressing room. Very briefly, Andy, it's been a performance which has been patchy, but at times electrifying, at others just needing a wee bit sharpening.
Yeah, just very much early season. You know, plenty of good stuff, plenty of stuff that needs to get better. And I think Derek McInnes's half-time team talk will probably reflect that. He'll try and be as positive as he possibly can be, but he's also got to try and snap out some of these bad habits. A little bit overplaying in midfield, so lots of work still to be done.
We'll review the first 45 with Andy Little shortly. Before then, we've got another RTV Studios special. The Gentleman Captain tells a story of David Meiklejohn, one of Rangers' greatest ever captains, and a man whose leadership, dignity and loyalty defined an era. Spanning 2 decades as a player and later as a respected journalist, Meiklejohn's life reflects the values that built Rangers' identity: class, courage and quiet authority. For the moment, half-time at
but the movement was forward, Tom, and I know exactly what you mean, and it's something that I really like about him. And
Gassama fires it in, Nadiri can't get off the ground.
It's something I really like about him, and it's often what you see in the youth academy players who come in as well, that understanding of the way you need to be in a blue jersey. You have to be relentless, you have to be completely that attacking minds, you know, the sideways and the backwards, and keeping possession just isn't good enough here. It's got to be go and affect the game, go make something happen. I always refer to Scott Arfield when I think about that in more recent years. He was always a player who looked forward, looked for the little 1-2s, looked to make things happen, and Finlay Curtis does exactly that.
John Sterling again switched on, throws the free kick. Happy birthday, incidentally, to Jonathan Johansson. Not at the game today, he's away at a place in the sun. Also the birthday of Stefan Kloss. JJ, of course, is now assistant coach at the Finnish national side. We wish him well with that one. Stefan Kloss also celebrating the birthday. Their goalie. Curtis tries to smuggle it in for the movement of Dragojevic, but Declan John was alert to pick it off. Richardson for Cabia. Fraser wasn't meant to start, but he's at the heart of the Saints' defence. Caught in possession is Ramos. Curtis steers it away from Phillips. He tried to pinch it back. We're back at Ibrox on Thursday. Jablonec from the Czech Republic. First leg qualifier. 8 PM kickoff. We'll catch all the action on Rangers TV. Curtis goes looking. And the free kick will go against the Rangers substitute as he barges in Fraser. Craig McLeish, the unfancied choice as Saints manager, but certainly shouldered the wheel at the end of last season, kept him in the top flight, and was rewarded with a contract to 2029. I tell you what, Andy, Dragovic plays with his heart on his sleeve.
He really does. He's very expressive, you know. He makes himself sort of heard, and you know, he's got all the kind of attributes at just 20 years of age to go and to be able to handle the pressure, go and grab the ball. He's obviously scored that magnificent goal first half, but then he's probably at fault for the St Mirren goal, but he still responds. He's still going hungry for it. I noticed that when he came on the other night, you know, in a game where we were really struggling, that he did really try and do exactly that. So I'm excited at the thought of him and the opportunity he has here at Rangers.
He senses the danger again, just beats Carr to it, but the referee goes in favour of St Mirren. Carr was foraging for it. 22 in September. He had a loan last season at Ebbsfleet, Ryan Carr, while with Ipswich. He's been busy. Of course, there's no Paul Inseo, who has been a starter for St Mirren in recent weeks. Can't play under the terms of his loan agreement. Made his Rangers debut at Ibrox in the League Cup tie against Queen of the South a number of years ago. In from Declan John. Hernandez gets something on it. Gassama happy to take it on, but closed down quickly. Here's the break now. Is James Penrice. Has he got the legs? Oh, terrific delivery. There's a chance here for Rangers! Gassama! Counter-attacking football, and a deadly finish from Gassama at the part James Penrice plays on his debut. Should not be underestimated. Rangers 3, St Mirren 1.
We all hold our breath for a VAR decision though, but fingers crossed he managed to hold his run. Gassama, it was really tight, I thought, but super break. What a ball that is from Finlay Curtis round the corner. Great pace from Penrice, and and then we'll get to see that one again. But listen, absolutely fantastic. Two passes and a strike at goal. Gazzama doesn't even take a touch, lets the ball come across him and makes no mistake, and fingers crossed he is onside, and Rangers find themselves back with that 2-goal cushion, which felt like it was so important. The next goal is always important, but that one seemed more so than most.
The way Penrice wrapped his foot round it, Andy, to take it away, he took the goalkeeper out the equation.
Yeah, all credit to Finlay Curtis and James Penrice. Two superb passes, didn't hesitate, played it with inch perfect weight and precision, and that's what you have to do when you want to cut a defence up, cut a defence open with just 2 passes. And yeah, Gazzama controls himself, composes himself in front of goal and makes no mistake.
Fernandez, under some pressure, gets it back to Dragicevic. It'll look lively. It's Phillips and Raskin. No quarter asked or given. Chukwani flips it away from Carr. Here's Finlay Curtis. Chukwani continues his run. Nadiri the target. Chukwani lays it wide. Gazzama again. Can he get another? Deflected. Still in the air. Still not cleared. Shooting chance. Penrice. James Penrice from close range. A quick fire double from Rangers. Rangers 4, St Mirren 1.
That's awesome from Rangers. Just so keeping the foot down, right on top of them. There's a couple of wee fortunate bounces there, but it's the pressure and it's the amount of blue jerseys that they commit forward. Finlay Curtis at it again, driving forward, composed, finds a little pass into the feet of Nadiri. One-touch football. Gazzama turns his man inside out, gets the strike away. Chukwani does enough, and it falls to Penrice here. Makes no mistake. Right now.
Well, I asked you what would Derek McKenzie's team talk have consisted of. I don't know what it was, but my goodness, Andy, it's effective.
Yeah, it certainly has worked. As you see the players right on it right now. I think they know they've got an opportunity here now to impress the home fans, give them something to put a smile on the face.
Checking the goal for a possible offside. It's not the outcome James Penrice wants for sure. Taking some time. But the goal prior to that from Gazzama, in such great goal scoring form at the start of last season. On target again here now. No.
It's Nadiri they're checking.
Yeah, Nadiri potentially.
Yeah, it's Chukwani to Nadiri. It's the pass or the touch before Penrice gets involved. That's the one that is really, really tight. The second view, and I thought it was just Penrice we were concerned about. He's well onside, but it's that first one.
Kevin Clancy in communication with John Beaton. Can they draw the lines here in this minute? I'll look again. I'm not convinced, Andy, because can he score from
the left foot of Declan John?
That maybe part of his body?
Yeah.
That is beyond the defender. So the first passage of play, I understand, has been cleared and good. The second check, confirmation. James Penrice on his debut gets his first goal for Rangers. 4-1.
I don't know if you've noticed, but both goals that were checked for offside, Nico Raskin standing right on top of John Beaton as if he's got some sort of influence to make sure he makes the right decision. But
make an offer you can't refuse.
I don't mind it from the wee man. He fights for everything, doesn't he?
Four different goal scorers, Andy, who were struggling to buy a goal in recent weeks.
I think we had 2 goal scorers in 4 matches.
2 own goals along the way.
Two goal scorers. We've had 4 new ones today. So all in all, it's been a good afternoon so far. Rangers need to just continue with this level of performance.
And this feeds it over as far as Carr. Popped in by Phillips. Big centre half Macania hasn't put a foot wrong today. A good clearing header now. Here's Rangers getting bodies forward. Raskin takes a gamble by way of a World Cup pass at the second time of asking. He feeds it in. Here's Curtis! Off the line, Nadiri can't get something on it.
Oh, it's brilliant to watch, Tom. The home fans are absolutely loving it. You talked about a World Cup pass. The first one he tried, Nico Raskin, but the second one really is a World Cup pass. Absolutely superb. drills it in, and then Finlay Curtis trying the little deft flick over the keeper, just doesn't quite get enough on it.
Saints are going to the bench.
I think they need plan B, never mind the bench. It's just
Jake Young will be one of the players introduced. He's quite a pacey forward player.
You see it here.
Fraser Taylor is the other.
The ball back out to Nico Raskin. He just absolutely fizzes it past John Beaton into the path of Gazzama. Lovely
effectively off the line.
Lovely little weighted ball into Finlay Curtis, who's really been very, very effective since he came on, which I'm delighted to see.
It's a healthy crowd in Ibrox today, all things considered, and they've been pretty much entertained from the first whistle. Saints can't quite make these changes just yet. Young and Taylor ready to be called into action. Again, Gassama turns it on with a cute flick for Chukwani. Here's Dragojevic. Curtis demands it, gets it. Can he get out his feet? Oh, and he just... It's a great effort. You know, the direction was what it was all about, rather than
the other options. I think he does the right thing, tries to find that far corner, and he almost drags it slightly too much that Ryan Nadiri could have gotten the end of it. But
end of the match for debutant Ismail Kabia. Young replacing him. Ramos also makes way to allow game time for Fraser Taylor. Delivery from Carr, tries to get Young away, having just come off the bench. Rangers also going to the bench. Dan Neil may get the call, and Lawrence Shankland. Perhaps rotation in the manager's mind with the game coming up on Thursday again.
It's one of those, isn't it, when you're in the pretty much the starting team, apart from that one change.
A take from Gassama. He has looked very special today. He didn't fancy feeding it to Nadiri. He squares it. Penrice might fancy it! Again, big hand from the goalkeeper. Nadiri feeds it back. He's taken out from the back. Gassama has it though. He goes for the clever, deflected, corner Rangers. Nadiri thinks he's got a case.
Can't take your eye off it at the moment, Tom. Rangers players. John Beaton's here trying to get this one looked at. But what a ball across from Gazzama. Penrice tries to find the far corner of Nadiri. Clipping the back maybe from Gogic. Gazzama though, the step over, cut inside onto his left foot. We get to see it here now.
Not a lot of contact, is there?
I suppose it's just that he's going away from the goal and there's not really much in the way of happening, but it's been given.
He's in some shift.
Yeah, he's been very much involved from the opening minute.
I think Dragojevic may make way for Daniel. Penrice again on the corner. Fresh from his goal. Still not cleared. Chapman comes out to take control. Would you be tempted to withdraw Gassama at this stage of proceedings, get him in the cotton wool and say, go and do the same again on Thursday for me?
No, it's a difficult one, Tom. I appreciate he's cramping up, and maybe then that's a medical decision. You need to. But for me, a team that have struggled to find form in the opening 4 matches are finally onto a bit of form and have been superb for the opening 15 minutes of the second half. I'd like to see them get another 10 minutes together just to go and enjoy it.
Go and empty your tank, effectively.
But enjoy it as well,
yeah.
and confidence will start to flow, and those little interactions between each other, they'll get to know each other better on the big stage. I don't like to see too many changes when a team's trying to find their form.
A good challenge there is Phillips threatened. Fernandez getting across.
That'll be a triple change.
Here's the changes from a Rangers perspective now. Shankland, McCausland and Dan Neil. Nadiri makes way for Shankland.
I think there's probably an element of physical to it as well. Nadiri took a bad head bang in the first half. Dragicevic, he was already off. He was on his way over there actually
He's
before.
Becoming a fan's favourite, Andy.
Yeah, he is, but he was on his way over, Tom, which makes me think that it was maybe even pre-planned, you know, that he'd 60 minutes in the clock. He's finding his feet. He was excellent. Superb finish. The fans enjoyed that one, and he'll mature into the blue jersey properly. Kazama's the third change as well, Tom, for Ross McCausland.
It's an opportunity for Ross McCausland. Forgotten man, effectively. He was playing last season on loan in Cyprus, one of your countrymen, but he's a talent. But my goodness, Gassama can go and put his feet up, knowing that he's delivered and delivered big time in the 63 minutes. Yeah,
I'm really, really pleased with to see Gassama back playing like that. You know, we saw that in the early, as I say, we touched in the first half. Early part of last season, he was the star man, week in, week out, scoring in Europe, lots of big goals, very, very effective, and we thought we had a real star on our hands, and then he just drifted away, Tom. You know, whether it was confidence, fitness, whatever it was, it wasn't happening for him, and it very often happens as players. You come in for a pre-season and you've got a fresh start, you start again, and it looks to me like he is one who has the bit between his teeth again this season. He's ready to go and do it again.
Phillips, having received some treatment, has to be counting down a minute before he can go back on. So for the moment, Saints 9 to 10. Terrific start to the second half from Rangers. 2 goals inside a 2-minute spell in 52 and 54. Almost putting the game beyond St Mirren, surely. 4-1, 4 different scorers. Your man of the match, Colin, might be a wee bit more challenging this afternoon.
Say you're a bit premature.
A bit premature, but it could be slightly more challenging.
Yeah, there's certainly been a few, but then when you make changes after 60 minutes, then you don't really know. Do you give it to somebody who lasts the 90, or do you give it to the ones who have the most effect on the game?
Here's McCausland. Across the face. Wasn't that far away.
Yeah, he'll really enjoy this. He's obviously had a bit of a time abroad, and he's had his moments in a Rangers jersey. He's certainly a goal threat. He's certainly an attacking threat, raw pace. Just hasn't quite been able to stay in around the team, and obviously found himself out in loan. But this is a brilliant chance to be back playing at Ibrox, which he absolutely loves.
There's Richardson. Sule, he's pacey, and he draws a penalty kick.
That's a dead cert.
He knew exactly what he wanted to do. Takes the touch, goes between the 2 defenders, taking out the play. Penalty to St Mirren.
Goes with the wrong foot again, Tom. I'm pretty certain of it. We'll see it again in the replay. Fernandez, he's just, you see it here, he gets himself back into position well. Watch it. First touch, he knows he can't go there, and then he goes and he cuts across with that right foot, and it's just, you know, it makes no real sense to me.
Raskin is in the referee's ear, incidentally, from afar. He's already been cautioned, though.
Yeah.
Manny Fernandez.
I just think you either stand your ground or you go to ground with your left foot in a sliding challenge, and he does neither of that. He just puts the right leg across. John Beaton's looking at this one. I'm not sure why. Is it just to decide whether or not it's another booking and a sending off, or not a penalty?
No, Phillips has been the go-to man from spot kicks in recent weeks for St Mirren. Including one last week. 4 for the season. Going to make it 4 in 3 games.
Nico Raskin having another conversation with John Beaton.
Nico Raskin.
You need that. I absolutely love it. We're talking laughing at it, but I love it. And we need more of that within our team.
Pandur versus Phillips. Phillips makes no mistake, but the referee's not happy.
I haven't
Someone
blown the
encroaching.
whistle, I think that was.
I think there's somebody encroaching.
No, I
perhaps.
don't think he blew the whistle. I think that was the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
He has to do it again. So that was the dress rehearsal. Either Pandur, we're relying on you. so well with the strongest of wrists. Pandur denying Phillips. It's still Rangers 4, St Mirren 1.
Well, he's certainly a relaxed penalty taker, but it seemed like when he had to go again, he just didn't really reset himself, and Pandur with a super stretch to the right hand gets down low to the right, and he'll enjoy that one.
Absolutely. There's such a strong wrist he had on it too, and there was no way it was popping back into play. Here's McCausland, fires it in, Carr clears. Chupani keeps the pressure on. Taylor couldn't keep it. Penrice, Chugwani shows. This is better from Rangers, just keeping the ball. Pandur, and never present since joining the club. Huge save. Finlay Curtis. Shanklin foraging for it. On the spin, gets his shot away. An easy take. Jacob Chapman. You know, the Croatian goalkeeper Ivar Pandur was part of the World Cup squad for his country. Didn't play today, showing why he's rated so highly. Penrice, a bit more air on it, Shanklin underneath it. And Neil squeezing the game. 20 minutes just over, plus stoppages remaining. Jayden Richardson feeling the effects. 2 seasons at Aberdeen, Richardson. No fixture. And that right back there. St Mirren. We shouldn't forget to, Andy, this is the Holders who are playing here today.
Yeah, Holders, a team who were in great form, sitting second in the league table, you know, and a couple of clean sheets in the league. Haven't played all those games in the League Cup. You know, they were certainly a bit more up to speed than Rangers have been so far this season, so it has been very impressive. As I say, there's a wee bit left to go, but I think this is exactly what the manager needed today and the team needed. As long as they can continue this level of performance and see the result out, then it'll be all positive going into Thursday night.
Gordon just overruns it. Stretching. Gives away the free kick and his yellow card for it. Plus, sits second top on the Scottish Premiership, Andy, with only goal difference separating them from Celtic at the top.
Yeah, no, they've been. You know, it's a team that hasn't really. The squad certainly hasn't changed too much from last season. Craig Leach has managed to keep that nucleus and brought in, although he has, as we mentioned, brought in 9
The spine of the side has been pretty effective.
Yeah, but he's brought in, you know, quite a lot of youth as well and energy into the team. So I think Rangers have done well just to quieten that enthusiasm that they've had early on, and we needed a response, we needed a reaction today, and we got it.
Taylor with a switch. 34,387 inside Ibrox for this cup tie today, and they've been treated to some special goals. There's Carr, Sule. He lets fly. Doesn't trouble. Pandur. Sule, an interesting one. He had a loan last season at Motherwell, and they managed 3 appearances for them because of injury. 6'2", a real handful left. Celtic for West Bromwich Albion as a 16-year-old. Craig McLeish looks on. Damage limitation might be going through his mind and starting to think towards league business being that bit more important. Sterling against a very effective shift. Helps it on. Shanklin tries to capitalise.
He has been. He's just been sort of quiet about his business today, Dujon Sterling, but also hasn't created any sort of issues. He's just...
Has he made that right back berth as well?
I think so, and I think he's very, very different from what we've had, in James Tavernier for 10 years at this football club. And as you know, I'm a massive James Tavernier fan, but he just is a little bit more of a defensive solidity. Certainly, he's athletic, he's combative, doesn't lose out many 50-50s, and with options in front of him, maybe that's what you need. You can't maybe, although I do like to see my fullbacks getting forward, but he's so he can play absolutely anywhere as well, Tom, as we know, and you do need a couple of those within your squad.
Fill in on occasion.
For now, he looks like he has that right back berth, but there's always the opportunity that he can go and do a job somewhere else if required.
Sterling, who made his Chelsea debut in the equivalent of this tournament south of the border back in 2017 against Forest. Here's Chukwani. Cosland is central. Penrice on the left. He's asking a lot of Penrice, but he's got the pace. Clips it back in against Shanklin. Off the woodwork. Cosland follows up. Lawrence Shanklin, what's he got to do to buy an open play goal? He had the presence of mind to try the back heel, back off the woodwork, and Ross McCausland, he'll enjoy the moment too. Rangers 5, St Mirren 1.
He certainly will, but listen, Lawrence Shanklin does everything right here, Tom. His movement's brilliant, gets in across, just checking the offside, but looks okay. Gets in in front of his man there and does really, really well. It's a neat little effort outside of the right foot, as you say. You see it here, great movement, and it's only an inch away from finding that corner, but again, brilliant from Rangers. Penrice is involved yet again. What an impact he's had in that left back role today.
About to make another change. And Sully ran his race.
I think he's on.
Luke Thomas, maybe the replacement.
From the angle we had, he looked all right.
Is it late on the back post? VAR early in their keep today. So far, they've all gone in favour of Rangers, though. Defenders there.
I assume Declan John is comfortably playing him on, I think.
Andy, why the necessity for a check?
I know. Why could that not have been checked in the during the celebrations? That should have been checked. I think we could see from the first see it there now. It's pretty close, mind you, but yeah. If there's the ability to draw a line, can you not draw a line in a matter of seconds?
Joined in August from Bristol Rovers. Gets his first chance of a target. Oh, and he hits the woodwork. My goodness, he just dropped anchor. It fell kindly for him. Tries to steer it in and it comes back off the woodwork. Declan John just impedes Dujon Sterling. And again, with less than 15 minutes remaining, job done at 5-1. Rangers just keep the ball and get it over the line, Andy.
Yeah, this is a worry though, the switching off after scoring. It's been a bit of a problem that Rangers have had for a couple of years, to be frank.
Yep.
And it's something that Derek McInnes will want to quickly snap them out of. It's a terrible trait to have. You work hard to get yourself scoring goals. You've got to then really tighten up and be sharp at the back. But as it is 5-1, I don't think that flatters them in any way though. I think they've been deserving of that at least. Tom, absolutely great to see Ross McCausland. I did say he was a goal threat and he didn't take too long about getting back amongst them again.
It was instinct that took him into the right place at the right time.
But it's so important, and I'm not just talking about him, I'm talking about general. I'm talking about Nadiri, who was struggling for a goal, and all of a sudden he occupies right on the 6-yard line, right where you need to be, and he's alert to it. And you pick up 5 a season easily doing that. It seems like it's not a skill, but it is a skill, is where knowing where to be, anticipating where the ball's going to drop, seeing the opportunity of space. Even if you look at the movement of Lawrence Shanklin when the ball comes in, it's absolutely brilliant, because he comes in across the blind side of the I think it's Killian Phillips maybe was defending possibly. Sorry, Gogic might have been.
Yep.
But anyway, his movement's excellent, and it's that natural instinct of where to be in around the box and get your goals is a really valuable attribute to have.
Kudos to Andy, to Chukwani. How many times have you seen him get from 18-yard box to 18-yard box with a plan?
that's what we're talking about with this idea of Nico Raskin sitting in there, and I know there's a lot of Rangers fans want to see him getting forward, and I'm one of those as well. I'd like to see a little bit of interchange, but Chukwani has that top end speed, the kind of, you know, sort of Rolls Royce speed when he gets into those areas. He can just ghost past players, and he's done it all game long. He's been another outstanding performer.
Neil for Curtis as the substitutes combine. Again, just taking his eye off it at the most inopportune moment. Lawrence Shankland, a real opportunity to get his name in the score sheet.
Yeah, that would be a real bonus, wouldn't it, to get him back in amongst the goals. He's been in already, of course, with the penalty, but I think he's desperate for an
open play,
a goal in open play, which we've seen him do his whole career. Just hasn't quite happened for him yet.
Former St Mirren player, of course. 56 appearances and 14 goals for the Paisley side. Got 2 against St Mirren last season in the colours of Hearts.
But yeah, it's really, really difficult to see what way that Rangers midfield is going to go. You know, right now I don't think you can predict where we're going to be in 3 matches' time, who's going to occupy the 2 or the 3 positions in there. But today there's been some good performers. Curtis,
here is Chukwani. Wide for Shanklin, McCausland goes beyond. And the flag brings that one to a premature end. Chukwani has a presence in there. You know, he's a different mould to our other midfielders.
He is, and also with losing, you know, Diomande, I always felt give you that kind of little bit of aggression as well, a little bit of bite, and I know Nico Raskin has it too. But Chukwani has that real physicality in there that you do need, and I think we definitely needed it today, because it's been a bit of a feature of St Mirren's play recently, where they dominate the midfield areas. So, you know, I think that the manager touched on it just pre-game, trying an extra body in there just to try and control it, and they've done that well second half.
Over the shoulder of Findlay Curtis, he watched it as Gogic gets close, pops it in search of Shanklin gathered by Chapman. A few more changes pending. Luke Douglas about to come on.
There was a conversation between Dujon Sterling and the manager whether he's. Yeah, I think he might be the next change. It looks like it will be as well. Ross McCrory with the tracksuit top off, but he's one you'd want to, as you put it, wrap in cotton wool. And
yeah,
he's had his injury issues, of course, but to get through a solid 80 minutes or so early on in the season is a positive.
I think Phillips might be one that makes way. It's not been his day, and passing up the opportunity to convert the penalty the second time of asking. He's left him looking like a frustrated figure. Car for Taylor. Way to the far side for Jayden Richardson. Nine minutes of the regulation 90 still to come. Ross McCrory is being readied. Richardson does well to keep possession. Good communication, we can hear it from our vantage point in the gantry that the defenders were all talking to each other, and the driven effort from Taylor is blocked. Declan John, Taylor, back for Gogic. Rangers quite happy to sit in at the moment. Saints lots of possession but no penetration. Taylor again. It is Phillips. Again, Rangers defence stringing out across that 18-yard box, doing really well as Chukwani runs into a bit of trouble on this occasion. He may just have caught Chris Mockery.
to get the decision in his own
Yeah.
favour. I think the first challenge is on him. The second one he is late on. You see that a bit nasty, but
Standing at the foot.
the first one was a bit of a foul against him.
And Ross McCrory about to come off the bench. Be a straight replacement, I suspect, for Dujon Sterling, Andy.
Yeah, pretty straightforward one. Dujon Sterling should be really, really pleased with his 80 minutes today. Manager giving him a warm embrace, and we know Ross McCrory. We know what he's all about. We know he can slip in where needed, do a job, and see this one out.
Saints not quite making a change just for the moment because of the extended treatment being given to Chris Mockley. They do have a couple of players ready. Luke Douglas and Henry Fieldson. Fieldson, a defender by trade. Douglas, well, he operates at the other end of the pitch. Just turned 17 last month, Luke Douglas, and has one goal for the season. Came against Cove in this Premier Sports League Cup tournament. End of the match for Mockery. It'll be Douglas to come on. And Phillips, as I suggested, makes way for the defensive-minded defensive midfielder or fullback, Fieldson. Fieldson come through the Sunderland Academy. And another substitute, Douglas, come through St Mirren's own academy. Route 1 from Fernandez. Shankman got a touch, but was immediately closed down by Fieldson. When it's not going your way.
Film and the manager not impressed with that call.
Into the final 5. Chukwani again just gets across there and wins it back early. From a Rangers perspective as Thomas dallied in possession. Threaded pass, no takers with Igor Pandur. A few contenders for man of the match, including the sponsors of the very trophy. My mole there tells me Ben Rice is getting the nod from them. As Raskin plays it down the line, it's chased by the combination of McCrory and Curtis. Kick in favour of Rangers as Raskin is taken out of the play. So with 4 minutes of regulation time remaining, what's your thoughts, Andy, on the way of man of the match? Penrice gets the sponsors man of the match as well.
Yeah,
is there a hat trick on?
Yeah, they've sort of stolen my my moment, but I'll just come out with it. Yeah, I think he gets it for me, James Penrice. I think he's been it's been as comfortable and accomplished a debut I've seen for a long time. He's Rangers' best defender to do first. But yeah, he's been very, very comfortable. He's looked really, obviously a natural left-sided player, what we needed, a little bit of balance in that back four. He's had his effect going forward with at least 1 or 2 assists, I think, and the goal. So I'll give that to him. But I think the other sort of worthy mentions,
a supporting cast worthy of mention.
Yeah, I think Chukwani's been excellent as he tries to get involved again. Chukwani's been lively. Dujon Sterling very, very solid at right back. Finlay Curtis has had a good impact since he came on at half time, and JD Gazama, I thought, as well, is really starting to get back to the levels he was at last season. So all in all, pretty positive stuff.
Thank you, Andy. A big save again from Pandur just moments ago. Is Jake Young let fly from the edge of the box. So the penalty save probably from Pandur came at a good time as well. You know, it avoided any nerves creeping in at that stage as Shanklin gets it back to Dan Neal. It's a clever ball into the path of Chugwani. Can he find the finish? It's deflected. It goes behind for a corner.
Yeah, he didn't look as comfortable on the left side. I think he would have rather he was running from the other side. As you see, he just kind of keeps it on his right foot, opens it, shows it to Marcus Fraser. It's not what you want. You want to kind of get that on your left side early on, and it just takes too long about getting it across there and gives the defender too much time.
Chugwani helped back to his feet by Jacob Chapman, who's been with Huddersfield for the last 5 seasons, born in Australia, the goalkeeper. In comes the corner. You can see a pull on a shirt there. Real handful of Fernandez shirt from Ryan Carr. Referee lets it go. Return with interest. Declan John flicks it away. Just overruns it.
I've just reminded myself of the. I was told pre-game that James Penrice's partner had been on a taxi to the training ground instead of the stadium today. So
they corrected that kind of quickly.
I hope they got her here quickly so she could witness his man of the match performance. I don't know how that one went wrong, but the club had arranged a taxi and it went to the wrong place. So
well, he's a player that's been in Rangers' radar for quite some time. AEK Athens were proving a bit difficult to deal with. James Penrice wanted to be here, and I think from the first whistle today he's shown appetite, desire and real quality in everything he's done. And to the first corner, straight to the first defender. But in the 90th minute, 5-1 Rangers, 5 different goal scorers. What were the most pleasing aspects for Derek McInnes, do you think, Andy?
A win.
Yeah.
Win cup football, get through to the next round.
As simple as that.
Yeah, I think it is. It's a big sigh of relief, I think, is the biggest thing of all. No manager wants to make the start that they made, and I'm sure he was fed up with giving interview after interview and press conference and doesn't want to make too many mistakes. He understands what it's all about, and thankfully after today's match he doesn't need to say any of that. He can touch on all of the positives that we've had, and 5 new signings start in the starting lineup, really starting to find their feet. So all in all,
well, the referee has put Saints out of misery kind of early. 90 minutes only on the clock, nothing added, despite an absolute raft of substitutions. It'll be a happier sleep tonight for Derek McInnes. And a good run out for a number of players on the fringes who are going to ask questions of the manager about the opportunity to be getting more game time. 9 on the clock, Madeira got us going, 1-0 Rangers. Dragicevic with a stunning goal in 18 minutes, double their advantage. Saints pulled one back on the half-hour mark through Mockery, making it Rangers 2, St Mirren 1. Into the second half, and Rangers come out the traps absolutely on fire for the second half. Gassama made it 3-1 in 52. Just under 2 minutes later, it was 4. It was the debut boy, Penrice. Stunning team goal. Curtis came off the bench and he'd one knocked off the line. Penrice's shot was saved by the keeper again. Nadiri came close as well. McCausland fired across the face. Rangers were looking for a 5th. It eventually came in 74 minutes. Shanklin's back healer came back off the upright, and McCausland was in hand to angle it home from close range, finishing 5-1 Rangers. Well, let's be honest, we've turned a corner, but we now need to build on this, Andy.
Yeah, there's still lots of work to do, but with any squad in the early stages of a season with 10 new signings, 5 of them started today, of course, it's going to take a little bit of time. You're not really given time at this football club though, Tom, as the players are quickly realising, but loads of positives, as I say. They'll only get better, and there's jerseys still up for grabs, there's players fighting. We've got obviously Penrice coming into that left back role now gives us a little bit more options. You want to have a couple of options every single position, and it's all. I think a sigh of relief is probably the best way to sum it up. It's just been a disappointing start to the season, but that was much more like it.
High fives all round. 5 different goal scorers, and even the goalkeeper getting in the act with a penalty kick saved as Saints tried to find a way back into the match. Happier fan base as they can head home tonight. Rangers are into the draw for the quarter-finals of the Premier Sports League Cup. We'll review all these goals after this very short break in the company of Andy Little.
On the left, McCoy's in the inside right position. Here's Brown going all the way himself. That settles it.
Partnership with Suited and Booted falls in line with the history of this football club. You know, this is one of the finest suits that I've wore over the decades that we've been involved with different partnerships.
Here's Durant for the chance, and he's done it. A brilliant goal by Durant.
The positivity between Suited Booted and the club is a route we're going to go forward with, and let's go onwards and upwards, and hopefully the two brands can make it successful.
Durant challenging for it, it breaks to Hadley. Oh, and Hadley has scored a sensational goal!
I think the partnership works well. I think we both worked for the same goals. We've both got the same sort of passion and quality, and I think that's where the marriage is very, very good.
It's great. I remember working with you in Dubai. I was on holiday and we got the call and you came. It was very bespoke, and it's amazing that you're now partnership with Rangers. But the history of the club, and you want to get into that history, you want to be the best, and I think the two match very well.
The partnership with Glasgow Rangers is something we're really excited about. It's come from lifelong fans. It's something our families are really happy with and we've got as well. It's incredible to be part of something with the tradition and history of Rangers, and something that we look to build on in the future.
It's finished Rangers 5, St Mirren 1. Before a ball was kicked today, we said that Rangers were looking for a change in their fortunes in this cup tie against St Mirren. And my goodness, that's exactly how things panned out. There was only 9 minutes on the clock, and Nadiri, leading the line today, got the opener. Helped on himself in the first instance. Great work from Gassama. In support is Yokota, but Gassama gets it across. Keeper fires it in the air. It's a bit scrappy here, but Nadiri gets it across the line nonetheless.
Yeah, it's all about Giri Gassama. He was in full flight, showing exactly what he's capable of. Really aggressive, running directly at Gogic, I think it was. You see him, he's onto it here, turns Gogic inside out, gets the shot away, keeper saves it, as you see, and then he's alive, he's aggressive, gets above Gogic, which is no easy feat, and ball falls to Ryan Nadiri, who we've been crying out, Tom, just that he stays in that area, stays in the business area of things, and gets his goals, which is brilliant to see.
They all count, and they will ultimately have come off his thigh. It goes beyond the goalkeeper, but Rangers get the start they were after with less than 10 minutes on the clock. Less than 10 minutes later, if the first goal was kind of scrappy, the second is one for the scrapbook. It was absolutely stunning. As the ball breaks back to Dragicevic, he does this.
Yeah, it took us by surprise, I think it's fair to say, Tom. We didn't see it coming. It was only 17 or 18 minutes into the game, I think it was, and it's that first touch just sets him up, and he's at least 30 yards. He's over 30 yards out. We probably just don't see it coming really, but what a strike. No backlift whatsoever, generates all that power. Not easy, not many players would even consider it, but shows at just the age of 20 he's got that level of confidence to have a go.
It doubled Rangers' advantage, and Rangers pretty much on top in everything that was going on at that stage of proceedings. And a bit of a mix-up on the half-hour mark gave an opportunity to St Mirren. Dragicevic and Raskin themselves, neither taking command of the situation, giving the ball away. It was pounced upon by Chris Mockery, and he showed his qualities with a finish here that gave the goalkeeper Pandua absolutely no chance.
Yeah, they bring it on themselves. Rangers, Fernandez, Raskin, just a bit sort of calm. I felt a bit too calm really when they've got four St Mirren jerseys around them, and it's a loose pass in the end up from Dragicevic. And it's a super strike, absolutely fantastic strike, and it really turned the game at that point, Tom.
If you prefer, you can just call him Vanya. Into the second half, we wondered what the team talk from Derek McInnes might have consisted of. It certainly sounded as if he sent his team out there, go and win the tie and do it quickly. 7 minutes under our belt in the second half, and Gassama made it 3. Look out for some great work between Curtis and Penrice en route. But it's Gassama with the finish here, Andy.
It's just 2 passes, it's Finlay Curtis releases Penrice with a brilliantly weighted pass, and then Penrice has only one one thought in his head. He knows exactly what he's going to do. The two passes are probably about 30 yards easy. That's probably 40, 50 by the time Penrice touches it. Again, this one it's just slid in, but again it's probably 30-yard pass, right on the money. Kazama, you could say he's got the easy job, because the two of them just put it on the plate for him, calms himself, settles him just on the 18-yard box and rolls it underneath the keeper, and it's exactly what Rangers needed at that point in the game.
Touch and finish. Rangers 3, St Mirren 1. Well, Penrice provider, Penrice turns scorer. Less than 2 minutes later, this is a wonderful team goal to make it Rangers 4, St Mirren 1. Everyone a piece of the action. Chukwani starts it, Curtis takes over, laid off back to Chukwani. Here's Gassama again. As Rangers look, they've got the bodies in the box to capitalise. And when the chance comes here to Penrice, he stayed in an advanced area on the edge of the 6-yard box, pops it beyond the goalkeeper. The briefest of VAR checks is Rangers 4, St Mirren 1.
Yeah, in some ways it's very similar. It's just a really fast counter-attack from Rangers with lots of bodies bombing forward. Lovely little interplay between Nadiri, Chukwani, Gazzama, and then Chukwani keeps it alive, and Penrice just taking up a position he probably didn't think he'd find himself in this afternoon at the back post, the right hand side. But anyway, he's there, he continues his run, you see it, he's hungry for goals, and he makes no mistake with the finish.
Yeah, again Gassama so involved. But Penrice here in this goal perhaps influenced Andy Little's decision to make a man of the match. Rangers went to the bench, McCausland was introduced, and he fired one across the face of goal. At the other end, a penalty went the way of St Mirren. Fernandez downed Phillips. Referee Beaton pointed to the spot, and I don't think Phillips could have got it as wrong as he did second time of asking after dispatching the first one beyond the goalkeeper, but no doubt about it from John Beaton's suggestion it was Phillips took the penalty, surely went down. Here's the first effort. It's the second effort actually, apologies. The first one was ruled off, he'd converted, but that's a huge save as Pandur stretching everything he's got down to make the save at the post, Andy.
Yeah, a great spring. The second time around he gets that second opportunity. It's a great spring off his right foot, and it was a good penalty. It was right nestled in the corner, but he got to it lively, and he'll really enjoy that, Tom. A little confidence booster in front of the home fans. As a goalkeeper, you don't get many opportunities to sort of have your moment, if you like, and that was his, and he took it well.
The reason there was a retake was the first effort, which went beyond Pandur from Phillips, he'd taken before the referee had given him the okay to do so. So at the second time of asking, Pandur comes out on top. Rangers weren't finished yet with 16 minutes of the match remaining. Again, Penrice involved. Shankland, unlucky, comes back off the post, but McCausland is on hand to convert. There again, that area, that channel Chukwani operates in has been so successful for him today, Andy.
Yeah, but again, James Penrice probably not given enough credit. Actually, I didn't realise his involvement in that goal. You watch how early Penrice gets on his bike, he sees the space. Chukwani drives forward as he did all game long, and James Penrice stands this one up brilliantly well. Super movement from Lawrence Shankland, and he's really, really unlucky. You can see he's frustrated that he didn't get his own goal, but Ross McCausland, who has always been a goal threat, he's always in the right area, he's very, very sharp on his feet, and I think he predicts the game really well, anticipates this one, right place, right time, makes no mistake.
What does this win and 5 goals and 5 different scorers do for confidence, Andy?
It is really, really, really important. I don't know how to say it any other way. I think it was absolutely what was required, it was needed. Rangers were in desperate need of a little shot of confidence and enthusiasm and energy, and get the home fans behind them, and they did that today. And now we go into another home game again, where I'd imagine we'll see a bit more lively and a bit more like the Rangers of old in Europe, hopefully, and this is exactly what they needed. And Derek McInnes tonight will really sit back and as I said, a sigh of relief, because it was much needed.
Yeah. The Czech side, Jablonec, comes to Ibrox on Thursday. Kick off at 7:45. We'll look at a different prospect going into that one come Thursday for a place in the Conference League proper. It's been a good day at Ibrox today. Derek McInnes will be delighted that the scoreline. We're in the hat for the quarter-finals, which will be drawn very shortly here at Ibrox. For the reaction to that, get across the club official media channels, and we'll see who they've got in the quarter-finals. But today is finished Rangers 5, St Mirren 1. My thanks to Andy Little for a great shift today, and thanks to you for joining us on your official club channel.